welcome to Ask Me About Kpop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon. I am one of your hosts today, and joining us from Texas through the power of technology is my co-host, Angelica. Angelica, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Shannon?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So this week, we're going to talk about solo artists, specifically solo artists who have always been solo artists. Mm-hmm. And then next week, we'll talk a little about people who break out of their groups for solo projects. But this week,
yes,
solo artists only.
Yes, because K-pop is pretty much dominated by groups, like boy groups and girl groups. But there are several solo artists that have always been solo artists that are definitely of note.
Absolutely. So I guess we should probably just go in chronological order and start with our queen, Uhm Jung Hwa.
Miss Uhm Jung Hwa.
Yes. So she debuted in 1993. So this is first gen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And she had always been on, she's one of those forever stars in that she was in the choir for one of the TV stations when she was a kid, and then she debuted as an artist in 1993.
Yeah, and she actually debuted as both with her first album and in a movie in the same year. So she made an actress and singing debut all at once.
Yeah, and she's done tons of acting since then, and one of her nicknames is Miss Evergreen because she's always been around and always been popular.
Also because she looks exactly the same as she did in 1993, and she's currently 48.
Yes, she's amazing. One of my favorite songs of hers is from 1998, and it's called Invitation. And it's just a really cool, sexy, kind of seduction song. And the choreography has fans. And she had all these boy dancers with turtlenecks, and they're
and
voguing.
Skirts.
Yes.
They're all wearing skirts, which I realized as I went through her music video discography or her music video collection. She loves putting men in her male backup dancers in very feminine clothing. Watch Me Move has her male backup dancers in glittery crop tops and high heels. And she has somebody else, I can't remember. Let me think. Oh, one of her music videos that was recent, called Dreamer. It's I described it as I was watching it as a Kylie Minogue wet dream, because it just has all these pretty boys in tulle collars, and and they're just dramatically dancing and voguing in front of mirrors. It was amazing.
Yeah, she's the coolest. And one of her other big hits that was later in her career is called DISCO. And it has Top from Big Bang in it, right?
Yes, he's very quickly featured for a verse, in which, quite honestly, he looks a little bit awkward in the music video, but it's fine. He's very young in it.
Yeah, but she's the coolest and the best, and she's still putting music out. And I know in a very early episode, I recommended her latest album in the music video, Ending Credit, because, yeah, she's still the shit.
Mm-hmm. I love that song, Ending Credit. It's so good. And that whole album is really good. The album is called, Cloud 9 or something. I don't know.
That sounds right.
I like it.
It's great. And then, let's see, next up chronologically, always solo artists, is Boa.
Mm-hmm. So, from a queen to a princess.
Yes.
Although Boa is technically, Uhm Jung Hwa is known as Evergreen, Boa is known as the queen of K-pop.
Yes, she really is. We talked about her in our second gen episode that or in both first and second, because she's technically first gen, but her popularity is what ushered in a second generation. Mm-hmm. She debuted at 13 frickin' years old.
Yeah, 13 years old in 2000. She originally just tagged along with her brother, who was auditioning to be a dancer, and then the scouts spotted her instead. And yeah, so she debuted in 2000. She had an album called ID Peace B, and it made it to the top 10. And pretty quickly after that, then she debuted in Japan in 2002, which I think we mentioned in our Generations episode was the first time that a K-pop star was able to break through to Japan, and she made it to number 1 on the Japanese Oricon charts.
Yes. So she's a force to be reckoned with and always has been. Do you have any favorite BoA songs or videos, Angelica?
I know that we've already mentioned Only One.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good one that I love. I also watched her 2008 US debut, Eat You Up, which is
Yes.
a song that I definitely know that song very well. I don't really know why.
It's her stage in I Am, the documentary we bring up all the time. So that
But I haven't watched that in years.
I know.
I don't know why. It was so familiar to me. Um, but I really like that song. The music video is really cheesy, but I do really like that song.
Yeah. And then you sent me one of her videos this weekend that was like a commercial for phones and stuff, but it was very cute.
Yeah. What was that song called? It was so cute. She's barely in it at all. It like stars some other person, some other girl. I
Some
don't know
other
who it
actress.
is.
Let's see.
Um,
It's called um who Are You
who
is
are
what it's
you?
called. And yeah, Sehun from EXO is like the boy at the end of the video, but it's just like kind of a cute, like trippy little video that's obviously advertising phones and the Line app and headphones and like it's a commercial, but
Oh yeah, it's advertising like four different products in one, but it's really cute because this girl's like she's chatting with someone and then they're online and they're supposed to meet and she goes to the wrong cafe and like meets this nerdy guy and then the person that she was chatting with is like, "Hey, I'm here," or whatever, like, "Where are you?" Realizes she's at the wrong place, like flies, like
he actually
animatedly
flies.
flies over to the next cafe and then realizes that her date is with Sehun and like freaks out appropriately. And it's really adorable.
Yeah, it's really cute when they're like walking out of the cafe at the end of the video. She's like, "Oh my God, you're so handsome." And he's like, "No, you're so pretty." And she's like, "No, you're so handsome." And they're like arguing about who's cuter as they walk out of the restaurant.
Oh, they're both cute.
But BoA.
I would say like she has, whereas Jung Hwa is like very poppy, like very like we like to equate her with Kylie Minogue. BoA is way more R&B. Like her, she cites her biggest influences as like Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson and Neo, and you can really see that in her discography.
Yeah, and she's a very, very good dancer. Like
Oh, she's amazing.
she's one of those people that like makes me so mad where she can just it's like a talent they make her do on variety shows. They'll just show her someone else's music video and then she can do the dance immediately. She has that like annoying photographic memory and can just like do dances.
Yeah, it's really incredible. There's a clip of her on Weekly Idol where they make her do that. And she starts out doing Lionheart by Girls' Generation. And she's like, "Oh, this is really easy. Like girl groups are usually like pretty simple." And she picks it up right away. And then they show her EXO's Monster. And she is like the whole time complaining, saying like, "How am I supposed to do this? Boys choreography always has such complicated footwork. Like there's no way that I'll be able to do this." And the hosts just look at her and they're like, "You're currently doing it as you're saying that you cannot." Because she like immediately starts dancing what she sees. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, she's a real talent. And yeah, so she's been around, she's been active 18 years now. Which is so crazy because she's what, 31 years old? Like,
Yeah, she's
that's
31.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check out some BoA. She's really great. Her latest album from last year, I really enjoyed.
Yes, I in an earlier episode, I don't even remember which one. I definitely recommended like her entire album, so it's
Yeah,
very good.
One Shot, Two Shot is the name of the full album, but like every track on it is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. Okay, we got to keep moving through if we keep moving through our timeline, in 2001 is when the only K-pop star everybody knows debuted, and that's Psy.
Yes. Psy, currently 40 years old, known as the king of YouTube.
Yeah, it might be surprising for people to know that he's been around that long because I feel like Gangnam Style really did feel like such a breakout. Like it's possible that people might have assumed he just came from then, but he debuted in 2001. Like he's been around forever and he's always done his Psy thing. Like his debut music video is called like Bird. and it's like aggressively sexual and like funny and jokey, and like he's always done that like same thing, that kind of like goofy perv, I feel like has kind of been like Psy's angle.
Yeah, that's like his shtick, and people both love it and they hate it. Like his first, when he debuted, he was fined by the like ministry, by one of the Korean government ministries for inappropriate content because his music is very sexual. And his first two albums were both rated like 19 and up, and received complaints from different civil groups about how they'd be like negatively influencing younger generations. So he's always been a pop stirrer.
Yeah. But it's very like Psy is very interesting, and I like wonder if someday we should like dedicate a whole episode to Psy, because his influence on the world has obviously been noted. He still has the most viewed YouTube video like ever. Like
First video to ever reach 1 billion views. I think we've mentioned that before. It's currently, as of June 2018, the fourth most viewed video on YouTube. It has more than 3 billion views.
that's so nuts.
I know.
But yeah, Psy, like he's always been there, and he's always been doing his Psy thing. But yeah, it didn't all like really catch on until Gangnam Style, and like, you know, I feel like there are probably plenty of people who like, you know, didn't think much of Psy, and he probably, you know, like he had a reputation for being like just kind of like a goof off like rapper or whatever. But then he got so much global acclaim that I feel like it then like endeared everyone to him. And they like, I don't know, I'm sure there were lots of bandwagon people who I've always been into Psy. Like, yeah. Like,
yeah, probably. But before that, and I mean, even now, like he's still referred to as the bizarre singer because he has like a very, I mean, not only is his style of music and his lyrics like very comedic, but also he does not physically fit the image of a Korean idol. And so I think Shannon's in the dark.
I'm all alone in the studio, so I'm not making enough noise to keep the lights on. Oh boy. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like there's too much to say about Psy to like say anything about it now. But
yeah, we won't go. I mean, we won't really go that deep into like any of these artists because there's kind of a lot of them.
Yeah.
So we'll just sort of like hit some highlights of each person.
Yeah. So
moving on.
Moving on. Psy. He's been around since 2001 doing his Psy thing.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal. And the next big deal, we've also brought up several times on the podcast up to this point, but we got to talk about Rain.
Yeah, Rain's coming.
Rain is coming, and he debuted in 2002. And I did want to mention, like, Rain is technically a breakout solo star. Like, he technically shouldn't be in this episode because he was in a boy band for, like, a month. Like, it was such an immediate flop. Like, it kind of doesn't
But
count.
he's not really a breakout one because he did his solo debut after this boy group failed.
Had totally failed. Yeah.
You know,
so
I also read that he was initially a JYP backup dancer.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which is funny. But anyway, he made his debut in 2002 with an album called Bad Guy. But it wasn't until his third album in 2004, which was called It's Raining, that he really found like his breakthrough success. Because it sold 1 million copies throughout Asia, which established him as like an international star.
Yes, that was his Hallyu moment where he got to... he also had like a tiny bit of like an American. There was like one summer where like he went on, like Stephen Colbert like brought him up on the show, and he was in Time magazine. So he had like a hot minute in like 2007.
Well, because in 2006 he was named as one of Time's most influential people, and that's why Stephen Colbert brought him on, because he beat Stephen Colbert. He was like higher than Stephen Colbert on the list. And then in 2007, people named him one of the most beautiful people in the world. And he's actually been on been on Time's most influential list or most influential people 3 separate times. So he's
Wow.
pretty consistently recognized as being an influential star.
Yeah, and we've talked about like Rain and his style like a lot of times. Like he, the closest Western comparison we've said is like Usher,
Mm-hmm.
because he definitely like he was he was always like very, very sexy. He never had like that didn't like come later. Like he was always like sexy R&B guy, like showing off his arms, showing off his body, like in multiple music videos he is literally in the rain in like wet clothes, like
Oh yeah, my favorite thing about Rain is how endless the rain puns seem to be. Like it's raining, rain's coming, rainy day.
Rainism was his like
Rainism. Yeah, like that's not even that one doesn't even work in the way that the other ones do. But like I just love the way that they every single tour, every single album, like they just find some new cheesy
new
way
weird
to
pun.
incorporate the fact that his name is Rain.
Yeah, and Rainism in 2008 was like his first like bit of controversy in that there's lyrics in Rainism that say something about my magic stick, and the government wasn't cool with that, so he got one of those adults only stickers on his album and had to change the lyrics if he was doing it on TV.
Mm.
But yeah, we saw Rain recently. He still got it.
Yeah, we sure did. He did not take his top off like we asked him to.
Well, he's a dad now. Maybe he has
That's
to.
true. He is a dad now. He actually, so as we said, he debuted with JYP, and then in 2007 he left JYP to start his own company. So he actually manages himself, and like he went to the military like he had to. When he came out of the military, he was with Cube for like a hot minute, and then he like established a second company of his own called Rain Company. And so that's like who manages him now.
Yeah, and he's married to a beautiful actress named Kim Tae-hee, and they have a baby, and everybody loves them. So yeah, Rain.
Yeah, Rain. Apparently, I learned from the woman who sold me his concert DVD in Chinatown that it was all the ladies were heartbroken when he got married.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure that was a hard one for everybody. I'm sure. He was very he's hot, like he's just like a cool hot guy that
He is really
everybody
hot.
loved. One of the resources I've used to learn Korean over the last couple of years talk to me in Korean on their podcast. One of their hosts is a huge Rain fangirl, and she constantly uses him as an example in her example sentences. Like it's very cute.
That's great.
So then in 2003, like in an effort to steal some of the market corner from Rain, Seven came out. And this is spelled SE number 7 EN, like the horror movie Seven. That's how they
Yes.
style it as well. He's YG, yes?
Yes, he's YG. He debuted in 2003 with a song called Come Back to Me, which is very 2003 if
Yes.
you watch that music video.
Oh, yes.
He's wearing like a terrible bandana underneath a hat. He has Heelys on for most of the
Oh,
video.
fun.
And it's just him like heeling around town, like going to the mall and buying this like presents and wine and like setting up a dinner. And then at the end of the music video, you realize like the girl isn't there and he like smashes everything and is like very upset.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a very dramatic video.
I didn't watch the music video. I only watched his debut stage where he has like the perfect anime mullet for the time. Like it's perfect. And they're blowing fans on him like Beyonce. Like he's very
my
much
God.
being like blown by the wind, like while he sings the song.
Now I'm sad that I watched the music video instead because the music video was just like so angsty.
Yeah. But like YG debuted Seven like in an effort to try to like capitalize on this Rain thing and like put out his own Rain. And like, he did well, but he never got as close to like the amount of like fame and recognition that like Rain did. Like he won music shows here and there, and it's not like he was like a flop but like
No,
he
he got like the best
definitely.
newcomer award when he debuted. He was dubbed like a super rookie when in 2003 when he first came out. But yeah, he never had the same success that Rain did. He did do a U.S. debut as well in
Hmm.
2008 and 2009. He came out with a song called "Girls," which featured Lil Kim.
Oh,
It
dang.
is not a good song. It is just very boring. And the weirdest part about it is that Lil Kim is not a rapper in it. She's a singer in it.
I didn't even know Lil Kim could sing.
She
Can
doesn't
she?
really. She's just
Ugh.
sort of like toxic. It's really a shame. Like
Oof.
everything about that music video is disappointing.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but Seven, when was the last time he put out a Japanese album in 2017? So he's not like retired or
Yeah, he
anything.
took a hiatus when he went to the military, and he actually got in trouble when he
Yeah.
went to the military. This made me laugh only because it led me to learn that there once was a quote unquote celebrity soldier unit in the Korean military where like all of the celebrities, when they had to do their military service, like specifically went to this unit. But then in 2013, Seven and this guy named Sang Chu of a group called Mighty Mouth, which I'd never heard of before. They broke curfew to go get a massage, and looking for one that was open late, they walked into one that they claimed they did not know.
Didn't know there's prostitutes in there? We had no idea.
Yeah, and they claimed that as soon as they walked in and realized that it was actually a brothel, they immediately left. But because they broke curfew for it, they had to spend 10 days in military jail. And at the same time that happened, 5 other celebrity soldiers were caught with phones, and one of them got in trouble for leaving to go see a movie after hours. So the U.S. government, the Korean government disbanded the celebrity soldier
Yeah,
unit. It was
man,
like,
that's
that's
just
enough.
not a good idea. Another crazy thing about Seven that I thought was so interesting is that like 7 or 8 years after his debut, like it was revealed that he'd been dating this actress Park Hyun-bil like since his debut. Like they had been together the whole time and nobody knew. They
Yes, they started dating in high school. They were together for like 12 years
12,
altogether.
yeah, they broke up in 2014 after like 12 years together, which is super crazy.
Hmm.
But yeah, I always love a reveal of a secret relationship. It makes me
Yeah.
giggle.
He should publish a book of like tips, like how to date
Yeah, he
secretly.
clearly like did it good.
Yeah, he's obviously very good at it.
Okay, so skipping ahead a couple of years, to 2008 is when IU debuts.
Hmm. Yes, she's a like young popular singer today. She's only 25, and known as Korea's little sister. She debuted at 15, but she didn't really get very
No,
famous.
her debut stage is very upsetting. It's she did like a really lame like a ballad. Like I used to competitively sing in high school, like at doing like operas and whatever, like a competition. And this song is just like one of those. It's like very boring. She was standing on a stage in like a knee-length black dress, like it was like a choir concert, and it was so boring.
Yeah, she has like cellos and violins behind her. It's so boring. She said that the audience yelled at her. Like,
Yeah, they were like booing her and stuff.
yeah, and her first album was like kind of a flop. Like, she really didn't do very well until she came out with Good Day in
Hmm.
2010. And that spent 5 consecutive weeks on the Gaon chart at #1, which is a record that is only shared by Gangnam Style.
Yeah, so like then so that was kind of cutesy. She like did a little bit of cutesy stuff for like a minute because it like made people pay attention to her.
Hmm.
But I feel like since then, I love IU is so interesting to me because I feel like she has experimented with her style so many times. Like she's put out like jazz music and musical theater music and like French and 60s new wave music. Like she's really, really experimented with like a lot of things. And she's won 47 music show trophies, like
Amazing.
by herself.
Yeah, 47 music show trophies and 66 music and film awards since her debut.
Yeah, she's the shit. And
Hmm.
she has like uh she did this one song a couple of years ago called 23 that has like some of the like best lyrics ever. Like, let me pull them up for an example. I'm 23. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so it's just like this very cute song about like being 23. And she's like, I just like, what if I want to like pretend to be grown up and like wear a grown up dress, but like maybe I'm immature, like maybe it doesn't matter. Like, oh, I want to be in love and have a boyfriend. Like, no, just kidding. I'd rather make money. Like, she's constantly like going back and forth, like the whole song about like, just like coming into your womanhood and deciding what it means. And like, it's such a good song. Like her music is very, very good.
Yeah, it's very good, but like Shannon was saying earlier, it's very varied.
Yes.
Like it's very different. So it's hard to sort of pin her down to a particular style. And you definitely, like, I wouldn't say that if you like one of her songs, you'll like all of her songs, because her songs are very different.
Yeah.
But she's one of the best selling artists in Korea. Like she's been on the Forbes Korea Power Celebrity list every year since 2012. She has the most number ones and the most number of weeks in the Billboard K-pop Hot 100, and in 2017, a Gallup poll showed that she was the most popular idol and artist among South Koreans.
No, she's very, very popular, and she is on all of. She's the representative of a soju company. Her face is on all the bottles and all the posters.
Mm-hmm.
We see her a lot around here when we go drinking in Koreatown.
Yep.
There's IU all over the wall.
She's all over the markets, and whenever there's like a cultural festival, her face is everywhere.
Yeah.
Hers and that guy from Dots.
Yes. They're the like liquor representatives. Yeah, but I mean, we could talk about IU forever because she really has had like an incredible career, and she's so young and has so much time ahead of her. So,
ugh, I know, she's only 25.
Dang. Let's see. Also in 2010, here's another, I think, like big one that you got to talk about. And this is Ailee.
Mm-hmm.
That's spelled Ailee.
Yes, she is from Denver, Colorado. Her real name is Amy Lee, so they changed that to Ailee. And she is under YMC Entertainment, which was a company I'm not very familiar with.
Yeah. Ailee has like an incredible voice. She's just one of those like power singers. Like she can belt it like nobody's business.
Yeah, and she has a little bit of like a rasp to her voice too, almost in like a Christina Aguilera sort of way. I love her voice. She's such a good singer.
Yeah, she apparently like sang Halo at like a special singer trainee thing or whatever, and everyone was like, this girl's gonna be a big star. So her debut track was called Heaven, and it's kind of, I feel like she has like a bit of a Christina Aguilera thing going in her earlier stuff, because yeah, that was like, she could sing like that.
And like the beat behind it is a little bit jazzy in the way that Christina always liked, and it's like it's kind of sassy.
Yeah, but I wanted to mention she had this song in 2012, and it is called I Will Show You, and it is like a perfect revenge anthem, and the music video is really cute, and it's one of those like, you dumped me? Well, then I'm going to be so much better than like you could ever deserve, like, and I'm the shit, and it's a good song.
Yeah, the music video is really cute, and the song is a bop. Like, it's a good song.
But she definitely like, I feel like has had more. I mean, her career has been like huge, and she's put out like 18 music videos and all this stuff. But I feel like she is one of those OST queens. Like she sings, because K-dramas like most of them need a big ballady theme song, and she's very good at them. She has this one song from one of my favorite dramas called Fated to Love You, and the song is called Goodbye My Love, and it's the shit. She's just so good at singing real loud, and yeah, She's a powerhouse.
Yeah, I think she did a song for Goblin too.
Yeah, yes.
I think she did.
Yes, yes, yes. The Wikipedia has it noted as Guardian, the Lonely and Great God.
Oh,
But
yeah. Whatever. It had multiple titles.
yeah, that song went to number one. Her Goblin soundtrack. I mean, the whole Goblin soundtrack went to number one.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that another time. But yes, Ailey, she's a very good singer.
Yes.
And I just wanted to mention her. Let's see. More solo artists who have always been solo. Lee Hi, she debuted in 2012.
She's still very young. She's only 21.
Yeah. She came from a reality singing competition show called Kpop Star.
Yes. Well, she was the
runner-up.
Yeah, she was the runner-up, and she signed with YG afterward. Originally, the winner, she was supposed to debut with YG as a part of a girl group with the winner of that show, and then the winner of that show left YG and signed with someone else, and then the girl group idea was like scrapped, and so Lee Hi just debuted on her own instead. So she debuted in 2012 with the song 1, 2, 3, 4, and it went to number one in the first week. So it was pretty successful.
Yeah, I feel like I only know of her because Chunghyun wrote her that song Breathe, which also was like a huge hit.
Yes, that was the only thing that I knew her from as well. But I did really like the song 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very catchy. And she's a great singer. She's kind of like Ailey in the like belty kind of way.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, she has only been around a tiny little while and only had like two albums. But Lee Hi, she's still doing it. And then the last person I have on my list of only solo artists is someone who was literally just here in town this week, and I wish I had known about it. I would have gone. But Eric Nam.
He was in town? I mean, I'm not in town, but he was in LA?
Yeah, he played at the Fonda on Tuesday.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you missed that.
It's okay. Allie went and she said that it was like insanely crowded and like everyone was like squished in like sardines, but that it was like amazing. Anyway, Eric Nam is from Atlanta, Georgia. And he also came from a reality show. He was on a show called Birth of a Great Star 2. That is apparently similar to an X Factor. He was in the top 5. He didn't win, but it did like jumpstart his career. I feel like this, like, it's very interesting. Eric Nam is one of those interesting people in that, like, sure, he's a solo artist, but he's really just like a superstar, like in every other sense. Like,
yeah.
I liked his newest album that came out a couple of months ago. It's really good, but it's like extremely Western. It like could be a Justin Bieber album or something. Like
totally. Like if you put that on like a I was about to say KTLA, but that's a news channel. I don't listen to the radio, so I don't know what kind of stations there are, but if you put it on US radio, it would blend right in. So it's a little bit different sounding from like some of the K-pop that's coming out today, but I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, no.
But he is like he's just everywhere. Like he's on variety shows as like hosts. He's on music shows. He's like the spokesperson for like 1,000 different products. He's everywhere.
Because he's from Georgia and his like English is great and very natural in that sense that like he grew up here. Like he is the person that like, oh, the Avengers cast is in town to like promote the Avengers. They're getting interviewed by Eric Nam. Like, and
he's like the nation's resident English speaker.
And he is so rich. Like it's ridiculous. He was like on when I was in Korea, the like In-Flight magazine or whatever, there was like a Forbes and it was like the richest person under 25 like ever. It's Eric Nam. Like and if you watched like watching TV, like if I just left the TV on in my like apartment in Korea, every second, third commercial, he was in it, selling furniture, water bottles, cell phones, like vitamins, noodles, like literally everything. He was in like every single commercial. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
He's
And he
really
used to have,
popular.
he even used to have like a variety show, like that show that a Shiny was on where they like switched their names and they like impersonated each
The
other.
Young and Nam show is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it
yeah.
was called. And it wasn't it him and that guy from Busted? Detective On from Busted.
Yes, that's who it is. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
knew he looked familiar. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Okay,
saw a
because
clip of
that's
someone else on that show recently and was like, ah, yes, it's him.
yeah, that show's highly entertaining. I've never watched a full episode of it, but it's maybe I watched the full Shiny episode. But the clips of it that exist on YouTube are really fun. Like 17 has been on it, and they like make them answer like serious questions, and it's really fun.
Yeah, he also used to be one of the main hosts of a show that I'll just bring up for our listeners, since like most of y'all probably speak English because you're listening to this. There's this show on Arirang called After School Club. And he was one of the main hosts of it for like 3 years. But this show is entirely in English, and they do like idol interviews or whatever. It's probably the most awkward K-pop idol show that there is out there. Like, it's awkward, but it's also a lot of fun.
Because most K idols don't speak English.
Because most of them don't speak English, and I also feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things of like, because I understand English because that's the language I speak, when the hosts are getting like snippy and shitty with each other, it's really, really apparent. Like everyone who hosts that show kind of seems like they hate it and hate each other. And then there's also like all of the awkwardness of everyone trying to work around like translating quickly for the group, and like someone has to try to like type stuff. And the show is live. That's the other crazy part of it, is that you go on arirang.tv or whatever, and then you like try to get into this Google Hangout, because on the screen behind the host, there will be people live watching it, like holding up a sign for their like favorite or whatever. And then at some point in the show, they'll like pick one of them, and then they get to ask the group a question. It's truly the most awkward show ever, but it's also, sometimes it's really funny.
That seems like a nightmare.
It's a little bit of a nightmare, but it's called After School Club, and Eric Nam
But
used to be
sweet
the host
Eric
of it.
Nam married one of our quote unquote one of our favorite ladies.
Yeah.
When he was on We Got Married, he married Solar from
Mamamoo.
and
Yeah.
they're really cute.
So he's real cute, and he's real popular, and he's probably just going to continue to get more and more and more popular. But I guess under all of that, being a spokesperson for everything, he is indeed a singer.
Yes, he has a very nice singing voice.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I forgot somebody. Like,
I know. I can't believe that you skipped him. He's one of your favorites.
I didn't mean to. But if we backtrack a little bit to 2009, that's when Soinguk debuted. He did win a competition show called Superstar K. He won it, and then got to become a singer after that. I mostly like his acting work. Like I've brought up before, like he acts more than anything. But I just did want to mention just once, he has a really great song called Bebe, and it's so good.
That's a great song. Very sexy music video.
Yeah, I've loved all of the music he's put out on the soundtracks of like all of his, because he does sing songs for the soundtracks of like a lot of the dramas that he's in, and those are all my favorites. But like as for like singles he has put out as an artist, like Bebe is kind of the only one I like. But he's a really good singer. He is a
really good singer. Bebe, I think, is the only one of his solo songs that I've even heard, but I do really like that duet he sings with Yoonji.
Yes, that's something like early recommendation. Just look it up. There's a really great special performance him and Yoonji did. Their like song from the Reply 1997 soundtrack. It's called All For You, and it's just like a very impressive performance. They're both really, really good. But he's a sweet boy. And let's see. Oh, a funny thing about him that I've always thought was so funny is one time he went on Ooh, I want to say that it was Strong Heart. That's the one where people sit in the chairs and they have like the chalkboard next to them with their name on it, right? Strong Heart. Anyway, he went on like a parents episode, like a Parents' Day special where they all went on with their parents, and he found out on television that he was conceived on his parents' first date. And he was like, "Mom!" And he was like so upset, and everybody was like laughing so hard.
Oh my God, that's adorable. You'll have to find that video and like link it.
And I'll
for
link
us.
it. Yeah, it's
I want to see that.
it's
That's
funny and cute. But yeah, he's one of those like fun, like, success stories. Like he grew up super, super, super effing poor, like, and then he got on TV and now he's like a superstar, and it's very cool, and I just like him a lot. But yeah, okay. So I don't know. I think that was my list. That was my list that I had of
that kind of
only ever solo artists.
That's everyone.
So that's like a small sampling of like some of the people who've been doing this K-pop thing like all by themselves. But I will say that there are a bunch of people that we did not bring up. For example, Zion T, Dean, Beanzino, Crush, K-Will. All those people, we're going to save them and do our own like K R&B episode.
Yeah.
Because while those people are in the Korean music scene, I feel like we were talking about a kind of like a specific kind of poppy K-pop. Mm-hmm. And those groups don't quite fit that, but like they're all great and we do want to talk about them.
Yeah. So those other solo stars, like they do not consider themselves to be K-pop. And so I think that's why we chose to not include them in this particular episode. Like they sort of fall more under, like Shannon said, the K R&B or even some like more hip hop genres. So we'll bring them up in like a different episode, but they don't really fit the like typical idol mold. Mm-hmm. So we didn't include them. But please don't tweet at us saying that we miss Dean. Like we know Dean exists.
Yes, exactly. I feel like the next episode will have a lot more to talk about because, like we said, it's very rare for someone to always be like breaking out as a solo artist. Like that's got to be so hard. And I remember in the I Am documentary, again, we'll never stop talking about this documentary, when talking about BoA, like all the other company members of SM are just like, I don't know how she's always done it alone. Like how has she always done it alone? Mm-hmm. Like you have to like really be something to just like, especially in this world of groups, to just like stand out on your own.
Yeah, and like for each one of these solo artists to also have the longevity in their career that most of them have had is really impressive. It's probably, I guess it's probably easier for them to like sustain their career because they don't have to share the spotlight with groups or with their members or whatever. So like Jung Hwa, if she wants to be an artist for 18, 20, 30 years, whatever, like she has no one to fight with about it.
Yeah.
But it is really impressive. And there's actually, there's a show on YouTube called Keyword BoA, right?
Yeah, that's what it was called.
And it's between Key from SHINee, who is like BoA's #1 fan, and BoA. So it's like a quick little, like each episode's like 10 minutes. But they have a lot of really great conversations about what it is like to be an idol. And so if you're interested in kind of seeing that perspective, like he can offer the idea of like what it's like to be from a group. And then she obviously talks about her experiences as a solo artist. It's a great show.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So yeah, check out some of the solo artists that we just mentioned. Like they're working hard. I would say probably working harder than everybody else, and that they have to do it by themselves, which is impressive and amazing. So yeah, check them out. And we will be back in just a moment with our random game. All right, we're back. And this week, our random group is kind of interesting. I'm surprised I didn't know that this existed, but also
I didn't either. But I don't know anything about HOT, so I'm not surprised.
So the group we got is called JTL,
mm-hmm.
and this was a group that existed just from 2001 to 2003. Mm-hmm. And it was consisting of 3 members who had left HOT. So in our first Gen episode, we talked about HOT and that they broke up very unceremoniously, and it was like a big, horrible deal.
Yeah, and fans rioted and threw bricks through SM's windows. It was a big deal that they broke up. And the reason that they did was because Jang Woo-hyuk, Tony An, and Lee Jae-won left SM. And the other two members of HOT, Kangta and Moon Hee-jun, decided to stay with SM as solo artists. So these three members, JTL, left and went to Yejeon Media is the company that they were under, and like tried to be a trio, but it doesn't seem like it worked out very well.
Because there's like almost none information about the songs that were put out. We can't even see the track listings for their 1.5 albums it says
their discography is listed as having their first album called Enter the Dragon, a 1.5 album called Love Story, and then their second album, Runaway. But there's no additional details about any of these albums, so we'll never know why one of them is called 1.5.
Yeah, no, it's very odd. But yeah, it clearly, like, I don't blame them for trying to get something going if they were done with HOT. But yeah, it doesn't seem like this worked too well, but it's all okay here now in 2018. All the members of HOT are speaking again. It's all fine. So
yes, they get along. They love each other again. Blah blah blah.
So yeah, we weren't sure which music video to watch because again, with no information, we couldn't even find out which one charted best, or if any of them charted at all. So just out of pure fun and curiosity, we have chosen their music video titled "Enter the Dragon."
Based on the title alone.
Yeah, just because that sounds fun. So, are you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
Okay, they're high-fiving in a warehouse.
The three of them are like in some abandoned building.
Practicing their martial arts.
/ breakdancing. Nope, mostly martial arts. A lot of kicks.
Yep, spinning, kicking. Oh, they're so sweaty.
Ugh. Ugh, so much sweat. Why? That's not cute.
Okay.
Ew, their sweat is like a significant portion of this.
The sweat is all gathering. Oh,
my God, is this gonna be like O-Town?
Yes, they're like turning into the sweat is turning into a liquid boy.
They haven't even. How many seconds? We're a minute into this music video and no words have been spoken or sung. Wait, there's a sweat Bruce Lee.
Yeah. He's made of, it's that 2001, yeah, O-Town Liquid Dreams. It's exactly this. Oh, here we go.
A minute and 20 seconds into this video, they finally start to rap. Oh, sweat nunchucks. This video's gross. I'm really upset. I don't like it at all. Okay, so it's just kind of going back and forth between like cheesy dance moves in this abandoned building and like a typical box video.
And then sweat Bruce Lee. All three of them have bleach tips.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
2001
they have really
after all.
fried hair and very big chains, either around their neck and or on their belts. Do they just get bleeped?
I think so.
Oh, this guy's got fingerless gloves on. Dear God. What year is this?
2001. So he has on those like clear sunglasses, those like barely tinted sunglasses that don't do anything. I totally had some of those.
I think I did too, actually.
They have little jewels on the corners.
Oh, there's like a close-up of some disembodied torso with like a moving dragon tattoo across the skin.
Now they're in a red room with white light-up floor and there's backup dancers.
The song is pretty boring.
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of like boring and weird that they would leave HOT and then make more HOT music.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing different or interesting about this from what they were doing
No, and the way that the music video is styled, it almost seems like it's supposed to be for like a movie. This makes me think of those like Disney Channel music videos for
Yes.
like the Karate Kid.
Yes, the red room is exactly like the one for the O-Town Inspector, or was it O-Town? Whoever sang the Inspector Youngstown. The Inspector
Yes.
You can call me when you want me, if you need a friend, you got me.
Oh my
It's
God,
exactly like that.
What a jam that was. I love
Yes,
that song.
I had that on a single.
Like a single.
Yep.
This song, on the other hand, they're not even fighting the sweat loosely.
No, it's just dancing. And they keep doing the Matrix spin around camera.
But it's a CGI sweat person.
Do you think they flopped because their poor company spent all their money on the CGI for this music video?
God, maybe. Look at that CGI dragon. Oh my lord.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yikes.
That was upsetting to say the least.
Well, that was not great.
Sorry, JTL. Maybe you should have stuck with HOT.
I know.
But I don't know. Like we were saying at the time, like back in that first generation, like people were not having groups last for 10 years. Like nobody thought that was a thing. So
That's true. But it seems like, I mean, if this and JYJ are any indication, I feel like members that break off of SM and try to do their own thing, they don't do well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was JTL. So
That was that.
do you have a recommendation for our listeners this week, Angelica?
I do. My recommendation for this week is actually a clip from a show that we've talked about before, because you recommended a long time ago. You recommended Taeyong's Eyes, Nose, Lips from Fantastic Duo.
Yes.
So Fantastic Duo is a variety show where it's like a singing competition show where like quote unquote normal people get to go and like sing and like compete for the chance to sing a duet with their like favorite idol. But the way they do it is really cool because like the groups just sort of, or the contestants, they just sort of like randomly get a chance to sing a part of this song, and they have to like harmonize together, and it's all kind of on the spot. But Ailey was on it, and so I want you guys to watch the I Will Show You Fantastic Duo random play, because it's her singing it with 3 other women, and they fucking kill it. Like, it's so good. The title of the video is like Goosebumps, and because they will give you goosebumps.
I think that's like one of the like most, like next to the Taeyong one, it's like one of the most viewed.
It's so good. It's so good.
Fantastic Duo videos. It's super good. So my recommendation, I also wanted to sort of stay on this topic of solo artists. I'm going to recommend like a whole 2-hour episode. No, it's actually 2 2-hour episodes of a show called Immortal Songs 2, which we've brought up a million times, where it's sort of like a tribute show where they bring in newer, like new idols or like just other people to then present beautiful covers of immortal songs. Like, you know, they're honoring people. So there's a 2-part Uhm Jung Hwa special that has performances from like Guyan and 17 and like just like a million people, and it's really, really good. And they just keep cutting to her in the audience looking like the proudest lady. And of course, you should watch her original versions, but I just like enjoy this as like a nice tribute that also includes some of the groups that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, and I've specifically recommended 17's performance from that show in a previous episode. So like, if you actually watch our recommendations, you will have already seen part of that.
Yeah. All right. So I think that'll do it for our always solo artists episode.
Flying solo.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we'll call it. Done. Episode title, done. So if you would like to get in contact with us, we are all over the place on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at AMA Kpop Pod, amakpoppod.tumblr.com for all of the links to all the things that we talk about. And then if you want to send us an email, amakpoppod@gmail.com. We've been getting so many emails lately. Y'all are really great, but we've been bad at answering them. So if you send us an email and you don't hear back, like, we got it, we'll get to you, I swear.
Yeah, just give us like like a week and I will respond.
Yeah.
I cleaned out our email. I went through it. I've responded to everyone except for one that I left for you. So
Okay, so we're mostly caught up right now, but I just want to put that out there. Like, we got you, but sorry that it's taking a while. We love getting mail. It's just that we love getting mail, and you guys are so sweet, and you like write amazing things, and you deserve better responses. So like, they just take time.
yeah, it's been it's a very nice trend that all of our emails have been so long, but because they are so long, like I want to take the time to give you an adequate response. So like,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And thank you everybody who listened to the massive Shiny episode. I can't believe I thought nobody was going to listen to it. It was so long.
It could have been longer.
It was so long. And I have to, yeah, it could have been longer. Like, I'm really proud of us. We were being really good, and we were like staying on track and being factual, and like we didn't go on to like fangirl crazy rants like we could have. So
we didn't let ourselves lose it like we did in our bias episode. So good job, us.
But I do have to put it out here, like in thinking of my sweet husband who has to edit all of these episodes. We'll never put out an episode that long ever again. It was a lot. But we will put out an episode every week because that's what we do. So we'll see you guys next week. And we'll be talking about solo artists who break out of their groups. And there's a lot of people to talk about. So it'll be really fun. And we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye. Chonghyun, you're our inspiration.